Now, let's have a introduction of the word Tao. What is Tao? Now, if we look at it in a more abstract form, you could just substitute it with an X, because in some passage it says that it did not know its name, therefore we gave it a name called Tao. So in other words, if you don't know what is it, like all mathematics, like algebra mathematics, what do? You denote it as an unknown called X. So Tao is like X. So what is the characteristic of Tao? Right? So one of the characteristics of Tao is omnipresence, like all religion, like God. He's present everywhere. So Tao is everywhere. So what is everywhere? Nature is everywhere. 自然, nature, and the way we think, the way things behave, itself, being itself, is the way of the Tao. So Tao is being yourself, the tiger being the tiger, the water being the water, the sun being the sun. That sort of idea, being itself, is Tao. Now, if you are not being yourself, then it's no longer Tao. So then something is going to be upset, something is going to change, something is going to be rebalanced. Right? So Tao itself is nature itself, and it behaves due to itself, and it's everywhere. Right? So omnipresent. Now the other one is, it is not just omnipresent, but it has relationship to each other. So because of that relationship, that wholeness, that means bad and the good becomes the wholeness of something. Right? The tall and the short is the wholeness of that thing. So everything relates to everything. So everything is itself a singular entity. At the same time, it is also a separate entity. Because of this relatedness, it permeates everywhere, and it has effect and impact on each other. Therefore, it sort of removed the idea of powerful, omnipotent, the idea of omnipotent, like God is omnipotent. But this pin another idea that all things is related to each other, all things have impact on each other. Therefore, all things itself has that power to impact others. So in other words, the divisible self is also the whole. It also has an impact on the whole. So to a certain extent, it also has that little bit of power within itself to actually impact on others. So it is itself omnipotent, right? So this is what it means, right? Because of this, therefore, if one's action, there will be a reaction, right? Action, reaction, just like physics. So small little things that can impact big things, like what you call the butterfly effects. So this explains very well what is Tao. Now then we look at it. The whole idea of religion, the omnipotent God, has consciousness that can judge, and he knows what is right or what is wrong, right? You can call it omnibenevolence. He's always right, he's always knowing, he's always knowing, and therefore he can judge, and he always judge correctly, right? So then if you look at Tao, then how does Tao portray that part of how you can judge correctly? But precisely because the fact that it is whole and its parts and it has impact on others, therefore the action reaction itself is a form of retribution that it will return to you. So it's almost like if you take the seed of a tree and you planted the trees, it can grow to a tree, or it can go to a tree and the tree die. And how well you take care of the seed, right? How well you take care to grow the tree, it will return back to you. Because when the tree grows big, it will bear fruits and bear flowers. So in other words, your action, right, determine the final result also. Of course, there are many factors, not just one singular factor. So, but by and large, in a very simplistic form, your action will create a certain reaction, a certain patterns that will follow. So in other words, that is a form of judgmental, a form of retribution, a form of deciding what is good, what is bad, you know. As long as it's natural, it's good. You know, as long as it's not natural, it may have other impacts or side effects that you do not want, right? Because you have not flow with nature, you have not flow with what you are, or you have not flow with a temperament, or you have not flow with a society temperament, or you have not flow with the environment. So there is the impact that will return to you. I mean, you may not like the impact, or you may like the impact, right? So they do not decide what kind of impact, good impact or bad impact. No, there's no such thing. As long as it's an action, there's a reaction. And the whole idea of good and bad is not in this whole idea of the Tao. The Tao don't see things as good and bad. They see both. There's good and there's bad. So everything have two sides of it. That means, like, take a story for example, right? One day, one rich man's horse was lost. So the neighbor came to say that, it's so bad, you have lost a horse. But the rich man was like, okay, I do lost a horse, but I shouldn't be sad about it. And then another day, the horse came back, right? So the neighbor were very happy. So, it's so great, you should be happy, your horse is returning, right? And return to you. So the rich man was thinking that, it's just a horse returning. We don't know whether it's good or bad. And then what happened was, the rich man's son started riding the horse, and he broke his leg riding the horse. Now, what happened next? That means the son lost his leg, so he became crippled. And the neighbor came, it's such a sad thing that your son broke his leg, right? But again, the rich man was saying, I'm not sure whether breaking his leg is broken is good or bad. And then what happened next was the war came. So all those healthy guys will have to go to war, right? But this rich man's son, because he's a cripple, can't run that fast, so he's not able to defend the country, so he did not need to go to war. Now the neighbor came again and said, okay, now, wow, you're so glad that your son is crippled and he's not going to the war, right? But our son is going to the war. So this whole story is trying to tell us that you do not know finally or eventually what is good, what is bad, because bad luck can bring good luck can bring bad luck, So it's kind of recurrence kind of thing. So it's how you view it. So it's a very famous idiom in Chinese. It's called 塞翁失马焉知非福. Right? It means the person who lost a horse, he do not know whether it's good luck or bad luck. So this is the whole idea of the Tao. So the Tao have covered and explained in a certain way the idea of the world. Of course, it's not so much on the right or wrong world, but it tells you the world has simultaneous happening of the good and the bad. And in a lot of circumstances, it's how you view it, right? Whether it's good or bad. So you will not know. At this point it's good, at the other time it's bad. So how do one know? One don't know. One just flow with the nature of things and do not have too much emotional attachment to it. So, yep, that's something about the word Tao. Tao is also means a certain pattern, a certain flow, a certain phenomena that one and everybody has no other choice but to accept the way, the path, the way things are going, right? So, okay, yeah, that's a simplistic explanation of the word Tao.